go. Good morning. How are we all? Typical. Let's get that on to. Let's go. Good morning, Sister Sue. How are we doing? Good morning. We are on live on 2 channels. I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. Here is the Facebook, here is the YouTube. Woo! We're busy. We are busy. Morning, Helen, sisters. Just bear with me while I load up the pages. We're going to talk about yesterday's news that we got regarding the ESA DWP healthcare professional review. When I pull up the document, so I'll just let YouTube and Facebook drop in. Just bear with me, I'm getting up the notices from the court. I'm going to get the remainder later on. But I've got something extra to add. I don't know if I told Facebook yesterday, YouTube, about the DWP, HCP, ESA turnaround. So there are a couple of points I'd like to add. Then I'll say goodbye to YouTube. I'll come and see you later, and then I'll carry on here with Facebook and see what we've got to do today. But YouTube, you'll have to come into the Facebook domain or the .com domain, and you will see the claims of rights that we're looking at, the notices of intent, understanding, claim of right, ecclesiastical deed poll, evidence of life, and looking at some canon laws. So and what the canons do, why the canons are there, what the church's involvement is with them, and why they use them. Such things as ecclesiastical courts and the system, the authority alleged, purported. So that's what we're doing this week. That's this week, he says, what is it, Friday? Yeah. Stan, I need to get in touch with you, Dodgy Doctors from Tube. Stan from, I'm going to contact you this morning and give him a check, because what have we got here that I need to read you out that I've done for Dodgy Doctors? It was a letter from, let me just get in here and see where we've gone here. While we're talking about DWP healthcare assessments, dear Mr. Jeremita, had an email from a lady at NHS England at nhs.net on the 7th of June at 11 minutes past 1 to David at splspro.com, and it was an email I'd sent to Mr. Simon Stephen, the Chief Executive. Have a search of Mr. Simon Stephen and see what is the Chief Executive for, alright? That's where I've sent this email, and I've had a reply. Thank you for your email of the 25th of May dated to the Chief Executive Simon Stevens. On this occasion, your correspondence has been forwarded to our London Regional Business Office for them to review. So the London Regional Business Office is going to review and respond on behalf of Mr. Stevens. 7th of June, 21 days, takes us to the 28th of June. We've got 6 days left for the response. Dodgy Doctors, hang in there, my brother. I'm going to come and see you shortly. We've been denied care by the NHS, primary care service provider, dereliction of duties, breach of duties, trustees, trusts, NHS. We have charters and so certain things and human rights to say that you're allowed medical treatment, but if the NHS back office system has a note put there by a disgruntled employee, agent, or anybody with access to this system, anybody can put a note on a file. Once the note's been put there, it's game over for you. It's absolutely game over. You can't afford to go private. The NHS have put a mark against you for some reason, which means you get a substandard service. But yet, we're supposed to have some kind of equity within this health service trust, we'll call it, where if you're a millionaire or you're homeless, when you go into the system and get treated, everybody gets treated with equality, whether you're a millionaire or whether you're somebody with no money. So guys, I've got to be careful now because of YouTube, but this lad went down to the job centre and informed them that he'd got a power of attorney, effectively a solicitor, and he didn't agree with all this, what was going on, and he didn't want to speak to the office manager of the Job Centre Plus, and he wanted them to communicate with his power of attorney, appointeeship, legal, representative in this matter for his legal person in this claim, and they did it differently. Also, when this decision came back, and it was a non-satisfactory decision, i.e., this assessment, they gave him nil points for the assessment and said get back to work. Once it's gone to the tribunal, he was awarded up to 15 points. Now, from 0 to 15 is a big jump. Yeah, that tells you that this system is corrupt. It's not, maybe not corrupt, it's not effective for some reason. It's not effective and it's not working the way it should. So Jeremy Hunt will be out again saying sorry. You've seen the story about Gosport that I posted for you from 1991, 30 years ago. Massive failings within the trust. So when you go in your public status and you submit and you fill out and you go, I'm not happy, they don't listen because you've done it in the wrong capacity. So about the agents and statuses and capacities and how we word stuff and what you should do and how to invoke equity and not submit your rights away, that's what we're concentrating on. How to deal and interact with these agents, and the system itself will be brought out to you via the courses from the .com. So we've got a lot to do here. We'd like to teach this out. Anybody that's interested in ever becoming or taking part with power of attorney, appointeeship or something like that, we would put you through the training and the courses, myself, Andy, anybody that gets on the .com in the form of an agent or management, trustee capability, then we can get you through this and we can get you on the team with us. If you'd like to join us and defend the vulnerable, weak brothers and sisters that we have on this landmass, then I think now's the time to band together. We've got what it takes, we know the language, we know the technique. One more important thing, when you get this decision and it comes back and it says after your visit to the healthcare professional it has been deemed that you have nil points and you're good to work. Well, what happened here was there's a place where you can go which is called the hmcts.gov. HMCTS, Her Majesty's Courts and Tribunal Services. Lado let them know, the guy involved in this tribunal, and he sent them a message and notification and said what's happening. They took a look at it and said yeah, there's a case here. Tribunal was set up. So it was done externally via appointment and advice, travelling back down to the job centre, telling them who's the manager, who's responsible, I want the name, I'm giving it to my appointeeship, power of attorney, don't get a solicitor because that's not going to end well. That's not legal advice, that's just, you need to look at what they will do. They're all in the same pot basically. They speak the same language, they're on the same page like we are. So fantastic, big love for the efforts and what's happened there. If you're on the Facebook domain, you will see by searching, I did a live video yesterday and told you, the guy come on and interacted. A first tier tribunal social entitlement chamber was what was arranged by the HMCTS via the external appointment and review. We call it a repeal, they'll have called it an appeal. There was a claimant, an appellant and a claimant, I believe, involved in this. So the decision is excellent. It was about mobility. They had to look at mobility issues and why the healthcare professional has said there was no mobility issues and nil points were awarded. They've looked at the regulation number, Schedule 3 descriptor applied, Regulation 35 of the ESA regulations 2008 did not apply. Rule 2 and Rule 27 were considered at the tribunal. It could proceed. Very interesting that they've given him 15 points here from the activities and descriptors in Schedule 2 of the ESA regulations made up as, and issues about mobility. It says in a paragraph at the closing part of the paperwork, any recommendation given below does not form part of the tribunal's decision and is not binding on the Secretary of State. The tribunal recommends the department does not reassess Mr. X within 24 months from today's date. Then there's a signed wetting signature of a judge, the presiding judge over this at the tribunal, and it's then printed with the letters of the name legible in box print. So there's a date, a judge's signature, everything like that, the appellant, the respondent. That's just brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. So there's good news there, guys. If you do it in the correct way with the go to the .gov.uk HMCTS, look at court tribunal services, inform them. Anybody that I'm helping here, I'm not going to read any names out, but on the Facebook side, sisters, yes, brothers, thank you. I will get back to you. Yes, there is no justice there. AP, TP, we'll go initials on this. Good morning, sovereigns. Good day. Yes, AP, lady there, who I used to have power of attorney for. HMCTS Tribunal and Courts on .gov. We'll look on the .com and get some forums open. So the forums will have links on our .com. Top panel, tubers, and we'll have a forum with all the relevant links in. We'll have a step-by-step process, what to do, how to do it. No, recommended information of what we've done, where we've gone, how we've done it, who we spoke to, what we said, summarised, the step-by-step and the links, and then you can come in, get it, take it, off you go and apply it yourselves. Top of the morning to your brothers and sisters. So I was up till 2:30 this morning. I finished speaking to somebody on a tuber, actually, Barker from up on the top there. We had a good chat, and I made connection with that man. He wants to know about the title, status, capacity claims. He's been a tube viewer for a while, so I clocked on at 9:30 yesterday morning, and I went to bed at 2:30 and I finished at 1:30. So man's putting in the hours for you everywhere. I do need to ring Rockstan, Dodgy Doctors. I'll get in touch with the lady on that screen. I need to touch base with the admins and the guilds. I was made an admin of another group yesterday. Not that I need the extra work or the commitment, but it's something that we need to concentrate on. Adults against. Let me think, because it's important that I tell you. This is another movement. Another 1,000 have just joined the family, so we've got 2,200 on the top shelf. On the tube, we've got 3,600 here, 5,800 approximately. We'll call it 6,000, and then we've just gained another 1,000. So that takes us up to 7,000 followers collectively across 2 platforms. Oh wow! Parents United against court. Let me see if I can find it in here. Parents United against professionals and courts. So Nad, sister Nad, if you're going to catch me on here, I'm going to pop in and check about that video that I did and said hello, put some links up, and I'll give you a forum on the .com, Nad, for you to upload and relay back to the private community that we've got. It's very important, this, to us. The children, the blood, are the reasons why we do it. If we've got parents here that are collectively against the professionals and courts, we'll look at why. We'll look at giving you the instrumentation and the shoe in which to deal with that, to fight that effectively, to defend and put claim on your property in the allodial title, getting restored back. It's not something we do day in, day out. It's another area of which we have some knowledge on, and we're prepared to work with others to try and get to the best possible remedy and safe place as quick as we can. So we don't offer legal advice, we offer brotherly, sisterly advice in the private capacity of a self-governing sovereign state. Yeah, you want legal advice, you must go to the L London Temple BAR solicitors on the High Street. Lots of notifications, lots of emails. I'm pretty much on top of everything. Greg, wherever you are, this one, please give me a nudge when you're free. I will nudge you. We need to sort out the back office with the friends, members and stuff like that. I just need to tweak that a little bit, and we're in a very good place. I've created the private groups for the 4 private guys on this screen that needed that. The girls are adding me as friends. Once I've got the friendship circle sorted out, friendship what? Once I've got the soul connectivity interaction sorted out on the .com, I'll get everybody added and then I can put them in the necessary groups. The forums that you see are all open. You can get straight in them and get making a topic, a thread, responding, saying hello. You can make a visitor's account for 24 hours and you can go in and have a look at the domain, tell us what you think, give us your feedback. That will be greatly appreciated. So NHS, it's a big part of our battle. I'm seeing that at least 2 times a day with what we're doing, and the forced adoption and the way that the treatments and things are being handed out, the medication, the inconsistency, the fact that the healthcare, while ministers and social care are coming out and apologising, massive things are going off in the hundreds, failures in the trust. I think they're going to push it for a privatisation. I can see Richard Branson in the looms, or somebody effectively similar to that, that's going to want to come in and pretend to, do a good thing. We've looked at the Naylor report, November Alpha Yankee Lima Oscar Romeo Naylor. That's an asset strippers manual, basically guidebook. That's for the our property that man owns, taxpayers paid for, public purses paid for, assets are now being sold off, and the government's given, like for like, pound for pound, with sales to get that up, revenue up. Think about when the government sells private land, public land to private developers, and they might sell an estate, and they might make a new housing estate, they might put some shopping complex on there. That's public land that gets sold, that they get billions for development of houses, estates, retail parks. Where's the quantity of easing back to the man in the community for all the national trust land, the greenbelt that's sold for private developing companies? There's nothing. You're getting nothing. We're getting no feedback. We're getting no remuneration for anything. We're getting failures of the trust. And when we get together and we have a go, at tackling this and defending it, we find out what we say and what we do is actually just a proper, to quote Smithy, just, proper and right. That's what we do. We do just, proper and right. So Dodgy Doctors has been here. I can't stress this enough. This man's been struggling for too long, years. He's been on Mark Thomas comedy products. The video's on the channel, it's on the website. He's had a chat with Jack Straw at the time. I forget his position, but he was with the Conservative leaders. It's years down the line. We've got history, we've got causation, we've got everything there, and it's still in a state of non-remedy. So I've personally made over 100 calls to offices, agents, ministers, primary care service, trust providers, doctors, surgeries, everywhere that you can think of. I've emailed, I've said, what do we do? What are you doing about it? Do you know about this? If you don't know about this, I'll let you know about it. And we've pushed it to London. So yeah, 6 more days. I've just checked, Dodgy, and then the heat is on. We'll be knocking, and I might even have to take a trip to London myself to get an appointment for this. With the guy that's had the success for the DWP, ESA, Healthcare Professional Tribunal for the HMCTS, with regards to the regulatory governance of the public legislation through the codes that I read you there of 2008 for the ESA. I'd like to do a story on that, a success story. So what we'll do is we'll promote the fact that a local Sheffield man has had a triumph via the first tier, judiciary service and the appeal system, but we'll put down what steps we did and where we went, and we'll outline it. And I'd like to feature that on the .com. There was a story on the .com saying victory, healthcare professional, ESA, DWP, all of the 3-letter abbreviations. And that was because they reinstated quite early on, after denying and saying that you're fit for work, when we launched our interaction to them via the telephone, and getting in touch with the principal trustees, or the agents and the trustees, and getting directed to go back to the job centre, asking for the job centre manager, informing the job centre manager of the current status, getting the name for the liability management, professional, vicarious, reverse, all that business, names, saying that no one wished to contact these guys, and then to contact this guy, which was us and myself, with regards to the power of attorney appointeeship. They reinstated some payment methods rather quick without actually saying anything. And within a couple of days, money landed in the bank after a notice came saying, sorry, you're going back to work. And a few phone calls were made, and before the HMCTS was involved, remuneration or credits and entitlements, benefits were then put back in. So that was interesting. How it did that, when we kind of celebrated a bit early, and what they did, they reinstated everything except the payment for the ESA or PIP, you know, ESA I believe it is, yeah. So they withheld on that, but they put in other such things like carers allowance and council tax and rent and everything overnight, as if by magic. Then 2 days later, a letter came going, oh, by the way, you're going to get some money, blah, 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 but it's already in the bank. And that was like, hang on, it's normally, you get the letter, the notice, the statement, and then a week later it's in the bank, which is how I haven't used benefits for a long time, thank you God, and hope I don't have to, but if we do, then we know how we can do that now. And when I did, it was always fill in the paperwork triple amount, once when you're there, once again because they get it wrong, and then they'll send it you out in the post just for you to double check it and correct again. And then within a month maybe the money was there after a 3-day waiting period and all this crazy malarkey. So strength, unity, knowledge, wisdom, intent, diligence, discovery, all of the things that we say. You know it's wrong, you feel it's wrong, you know it's not right, yeah, you sat there. I have guys, family members crying to me saying, and this is why the heart on the sleeve comes in, because they cry, they don't know me, they say they're upset, the relative is on the death's door, they're in a crucial amount of pain, dodgy doctors has got a disease, its nickname is the devil's disease. A man's been left in the bed with a disease called the devil's disease for over years, and they know about it, but then they're obliged to fix it, but they won't, because the legal system protects them from that. But the lawful system, once invoked, will just be like a Tonka truck, and it will eat up the legal system, and it will shred it, and it put it in a heap there ready for burning as we then approach for remedy. So unfortunately, you do have to force, you have to fight, you have to get someone to help you, because if you're affected by this and you're in pain and you're upset and you're on medication and you'd be non-compos mentis legally and you wouldn't be with it, you're not right to be dealing with it. And if you do, and you step out of line emotionally, what they do is they put a mark there and go, oh well, they raised their voice and they said that they might come down and speak to us. Well, that's because you've left them. They're in pain, they're due a service, they feel worthless, isolated, left out, and so now they're contemplating committing suicide. But man is the king, the creditor, you set law, you make the law, you are the one. By being born, birthed in the legal system, you've created credit, bonds, money, intrinsic value, equity, and that's what they process you with and put you on and give you your numbers for, and then you go out and, you know, pay with your sweat equity to these equity thieves. Well, the equity is being returned to man. You've seen it being returned to man. We're getting equitable remedies with regards to how we would put the required claim to the accusers, yeah, and we would face our accusers in a new way now. We would face them using claims, not complaints, or there's a different one we use as well, but they are claims, and when we make the claim, we have the burden of proof with us to back it up, so there's no getting out of it. We've learnt the infrastructure and the processes of the law. That's what we're going to teach you guys from the free courses. And from the forums in the .com for a princely donation of 12 Bank of England and Windsor Rothschild credits for the year, you know, and we need you to build up and get strong with us. We are demonstrating, even at the Oxford Magistrates with the presentation there and how we represented the driver. Well, Thomas did, mostly on Thomas, 80% Thomas, you know, the member, not me. And that was the magistrates came back reasonable doubt. Barry Atkins and James with the PCN in Sheffield again, rebutted, sorted it out, put the notice of interest and the statement of interest on the, you know, rebuttals on their assumptions, and offered a contract, and they declined to contract and sorted it out. Issuing authorities with PCNs, DVLA agents there. It's across the board what we cover. We don't just cover one area, and we need to get this now put out into the forums, into the groups, into the, you know, everything structured, and there we need to download it so it's all in one place. Documents, chat rooms, forums, support groups, and monetary availability for those that are hard or in need, like what we did with the fundraising for the Evans in Alderhay. There's loads more to go through, and there's loads of notifications and messages in the group here, because the tube guys are up and we're having a joint cast then I'm not going to read out as I normally do. But to AP, I will call you and check upon you. Admins and ladies, I'll check upon you on this one, on the Facebook domain. There's a lot happening. I'm speaking to a good 50 guys a day. We're going to confirm this meeting in York. Everybody make notes for about the 4th, Saturday the 4th of August. If you can get up to York and you want to meet me, come and ask questions. Get up to meet other speakers up there. We'll be confirming who's there in the next few weeks, as of next week sometime. The SovFest is going well. We've renamed that to SovFest. That's on spowspro.com on the events page. Annual conference is what it will be doing as well. So we'll have an annual conference there, celebrate the launch of the .com, the expression of the private trust, the various successes and wins that we're having now. Get together, fist bump, have a fire, some food, a chat, make plans going forward, and yeah, it's exciting time. So that's on the 14th and 15th of July, so less than a month away. We are going to put some flyers, digital flyers up for you, available via private invite only to the .com. You can make an account, get a ticket. I'll get the email, I'll email them out to you. You may bring your friends and family. If you've got a ticket already, bring your friends and family, and you can come back on. You can order them for them through the .com, and then when they come, we'll meet, have a chat, and if they'd like to join the family in the trust, then they're welcome to. So you don't necessarily have to get all your friends and family to join our .com. If you're in and you need extra tickets, then yeah, you can get them on behalf of. And then let me think, if you need multiple, send me an email. If you've got an extra big RV or van or anything like that that you're thinking of driving down, or you've got any special requirements, is a field, a private field in Oxford. Yeah, so it's not anything mass public, so we can get on and off the fields and so forth, and it'll have easy access. But if you've got any requirements, you'll have to let us know. Email ukfreedomproject@gmail.com and I'll pick that up. I have got a backlog of emails and notifications as well. As you can see, there is a tremendous amount going off, and it's requiring a 12 to 14 hour day to get it in. I'm not going to do this for too long, but it's worth it. It's paying off. So in servitude, you put in an extra 4 hours. You go from 8 hour day to a 12 hour day. And what do? You clear the backlog for a private corporation that's making a profit with shareholders and dividends. When I put the extra hours in now in this space here, we get the reward, and you reap it as what would be shareholders, and reaping the profits of our efforts and interaction, and strengthening as we are doing. So it is very positive, and it is worth doing. We do need to watch the .com, and I see on Facebook with regards to how we staff and manage and get the agents appointed and the support groups, and I'm sorry it's taking so long, but this should have been done years ago. This shouldn't have been a job for a guy that was going to be an international next David Guetta. Turns out to be David Jeremita of the Jeremia phonetic etymology law. This isn't planned. I never had this planned. I never had this website planned. When myself and Warren started building this 6-8 months ago, this wasn't the plan. NHS, doctors, hospitals, babies, I've cried so much, and I've been through an emotional roller coaster. The guys that I've met, that I've took on power of attorney for, Adore came through a YouTube video and asked about an appointment with guardianship and the state, and we're like, whoa, that's dangerous. So we met like that, and then we get to know them and we find out more, and it's like, really, is this a joke? Is this for real? It is for real, and it's not a joke. Very, very complicated, serious issues that are resulting in bad health, injury, loss of life prematurely. See the Gosport Hospital report that I've covered, the golden ticket visa scandals, and they say there's no money and there's austerity and they need to make cuts. There's billions hidden, billions, absolutely filthy. That's why, I'm sorry about this, but that's why the claims are coming in and the angles of which we're taking, because we're getting to the point where we are frustrated. We are remaining sovereign, honourable, to some extent calm, but it's gone beyond the point of that now. When I turn that news box on and I sits in there listening and I can overhear bits, it's infuriating to say the least. And got all the men running around drinking the beer in the summer, shouting England and yes, England, and all this passion and dedication and violence and money. Guys have like taken the full holidays from work, bought tickets, gone to Russia to watch the World Cup, but yet they won't come onto a video, have a chat, put 12 credits on a .com to save the future of the blood, but yet they'll go and fight the best mate over a football game that means nothing in the grand scheme of things and is irrelevant. Yeah, it funds so much. We need to change the consciousness, and this man's trying it, you're doing it. Respect for the family up there for doing it, respect for you guys. I'm not the one that should be doing this, which is why I am the way I am. I'm trying to manage it the best I can and take all your advice, all of your needs, all of your wants, all of your concerns, show my due diligence. The admins are doing a fantastic job. We had an excellent day yesterday in here, FB, with regards to the intrinsic, the money, the bills of exchange, the negotiable instruments. That what Liam and other guys did that is just brilliant. We are very strong and we know what we're on with, so we just got to structure it now and download it to the private domain. 178 people still need to be looked at. You see, that will be done, but wow, yeah, a few others that are waiting to speak. I will catch up with you. So much going on. We need to rely upon each other and help each other. Support the community gives to the community. You support in the community will support you back. It's as simple as that. There's a lot of good happening. So this morning's Sovereign Report is full of success, happiness, excitement, prosperity. There's good things happening going down the line. There's too much happening, to be fair. But Crazy Horse will sort that out, don't worry. I'm the man. I can keep a track on it, and you guys are helping me. What we're getting here is now I need to look at the local area trust for the land mass and get them connected up. Seeing Suwon reminds me of that. So I'm gonna say goodbye to the YouTubers, and I will keep on with the Facebook because there's things I need to catch up with here. I'm just gonna say hello to everybody here, and I'm going to catch up with you later on. All right, Robert, Steve, Tornado, I hear what you're saying. Snafu, Holly, Tony, yes, hi brother, very interesting. It is indeed. Not enough time to yep. Snafu, you want out? We're getting out. Yes, we are. Orbs Realm, I am a shining light for humankind. Words are not enough to express what you and your brothers and sisters are doing for the common spirit. Thank you so much. Well said, Jaime. I love equity. Exactly. Easy. True ting, true say. Ra Stars back on the scene. 69 and Holly Breeze. Respect, peace and love tube. I will be back. I've got an obligation here. Then I'll see you later on. Go and spread the word. We're kicking ass, and equity is king. What?